Good evening. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great start to their week and enjoyed the long weekend. My name is Sarah Rose Stack. I'm the Director for Internet Sales and Training. And what we are going to be going through tonight is a session, our very first session for the new year for our client webinar series. So this is a free series where we offer just tips and business building advice and also product information around the different products and services that we offer to our clients and prospective clients. So typically in these sessions, we'll actually start off with a concept or a marketing strategy of some sort, and we'll give some application ideas around how to apply that marketing strategy. And then we'll talk a little bit about how our solution can help you to do that, or to actually, do the application of whatever strategy it is that we're learning. Tonight's session is going to be a little bit different than the way that our sessions are typically laid out. So what we're going to be talking about today is really the different important elements of a digital marketing strategy for your business or nonprofit organization this year in 2017. So we'll go through different parts of the strategy that you can actually evaluate for yourself to see, have you been doing this at all? Have you been doing it enough? Are there more are there areas that maybe you would like to take more advantage of but don't know where to start? And so we hope to sort of bring all of that to the discussion, or to the table for you to consider, so that you don't just have a website in 2017, or you don't just have an SEO or an SEM strategy in 17, but rather you have a really good online digital presence where you've got a website that is being marketed well and lots of traffic is being driven to it, and a website that actually can help to capture the business from that traffic. So, because there's a difference, right? There's definitely a difference between having a great website and a website that isn't going to get it done. And then there's a difference between having a website that's beautiful and gets no traffic and one that does get traffic. And so we want to talk about all of the pieces of the puzzle, how they can work together, and how we might be able to help play a role in that. Now, once we get through that part of the session, what we're going to turn our focus to is the myriad of new website solution enhancements that have already been launched in 2017. Now, we have a really special guest on the line tonight, actually. We've got the COO of maWebCenters, Brett Ratner, who's going to be joining us to talk more in depth about those website enhancements. And he's also going to give us a little bit of a demonstration, so you can not only see the enhancements, what they look like when applied, but you can see how easy it is to add them. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear from Brett. So, we'll get to that. And at the very, very end, if there's any other enhancements or things that you would like to see this year, please send us some messages in the chat box and we can take them down and discuss the possibility of bringing on new products, new services, and new enhancements. And I do want to just also preface this by saying that what you're going to hear about in terms of enhancements later tonight is what has been launched and is live thus far. There are even more enhancements that are going to be announced in February at our World Conference in Miami. We'll be using that event as sort of a launching pad for other enhancements that are to come. So we're really excited about this year. And there will be a ton of resources for you guys. And as always, maWebCenters is committed to supporting you with anything that we're going to talk about tonight. We've got 24/7 support, and we're here to help. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, like I just previously said, it's not about just having a website. And I think that today, more than ever, most business owners are, blatantly aware of that. They understand that, their website needs to be up to date. They understand that the website needs to be marketed, that it needs to be engaging, that if it's a retail-based business, that it needs to have an excellent e-commerce solution, that if it's a service-based business, that, the content on that website and also online reviews and all of the other factors that go into somebody making an informed decision about whether or not they want to work with you, all of those pieces need to be working together. So it's not just about having a website that has your phone number and a little bit of information or a list of services anymore. And that really just comes down to the fact that consumers are just increasingly more educated than they have ever been before. And so before they make any decisions about, buying even just a $10 product, they are reading they're reading customer reviews. They are checking online review sites. They are, considering other options and checking multiple websites. And the same thing is true, obviously, for service-based businesses. But, with information available, at our fingertips and on our mobile devices, which are basically attached to our fingertips, consumers are constantly looking for not just the best price or the best deal, but the best, option, because they can, and it's not that time consuming to do that anymore. So, what does that mean for a small business owner, or what does that mean for the organization leader of a nonprofit? What it means is that we need to consider, how does our website look, function, and what is the user experience like? Is the website up to par with what consumers are, looking for, what the industry standard is, not based on what web designers say, but based on users, based on the people that are viewing that website, right? They're the ones that really set that industry standard, right? Not just the professional designers that are out there. So is the website up to date in that sense? Is it responsive? And what does responsive mean? Well, responsive is, very simply put, it's a website that's built with a single code set. So that single code set tells the website whether to load a mobile optimized version or a desktop version or something in between based on the device that's looking at the website. And so, very simply put, that means if I visit a website on my mobile device, a responsive website already knows that I'm looking at it from a mobile device, and it's going to load the mobile version of my website. Whereas if you go check it out on your desktop, it's going to know automatically, okay, this is a desktop that's looking at the website, and we want to make sure that we load the desktop experience. And the nice thing about that responsive website design is that, that single code set simply means that you only need to do one web design. So we recognized a few years ago the importance of mobile websites, right, and mobile optimization, because the use of mobile devices for internet and website consumption was increasing. And so what people did years and years ago, just 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, is they built a second website, a mobile website. And so unfortunately, fortunately, I should start with, fortunately, now some businesses were giving a mobile experience which was better optimized for the people on mobile devices. Unfortunately, a lot of times, if you were looking at someone's mobile website, you weren't getting all of the information, right? If you wanted to see all the information, you ended up clicking on the view full version and then panning and zooming anyway, because there were two separate sets of websites, which meant the business owner had to manage two different websites. And by the way, if you visited that website's mobile site versus the desktop, it was counting traffic as two separate entities. So it was working against your website's traffic and SEO value purposes, and it was more difficult to manage, and the user didn't get quite the experience. So responsive really truly does solve that. You only have to build one website. It's smart, and it's honestly the best experience as well. So I think that that's going to be the number one thing on most business owners' agendas for this year, is to get their website design brought up to date, responsively so that number one, their users have a better experience. And also number two, that's going to help you in the search engines. And we can talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Now, the second part of your online solution should really be considering how do you maintain your content. I think that it's no secret, and it's a phrase that we've heard several times that content is king. So, and content is king, right? So the content is gonna keep your users coming back and wanting to engage with your website if it's fresh, up to date content. And also, just gone are the days where you could have a website that's out of date. If your website is out of date, your customers are going to call you out on it. And they may even try to hold you accountable to whatever it is that you have published, because in their eyes, it's no different than you running a newspaper ad in the Sunday newspaper for a sale that you're not going to honor, right? So up-to-date content is critical. It's critical for so many reasons. Now, social media is probably the number one way that people are communicating right now. And what the good news about that is that most business owners have sort of a word of mouth advertising strategy that's built into their business already. And, if you talk to any local business, part of how they get customers is generally and word of mouth. Well, social media is a lot like word of mouth, if not better, because it's not just word of mouth one to one, it's word of mouth one to one plus third party credibility. It's I recommend XYZ Landscaping. They did an awesome job on my house, and I'm not just recommending that to one person, but to the hundreds or thousands of people that I'm connected to on Facebook, for example, right? So social media is it's a free tool that is so underutilized by small businesses and could be really just sort of like the secret weapon to your business this year. And so, I mean, guys, think about it like this. Social media is like, uh, what would how would we use it if they charge us for access to their network the way that phone companies did, right? So a phone company charges you money so that you can have access to a phone number and be connected to other people with phone numbers. Well, social media is a lot like the same thing, right? You have an account and it's connected to uh, over a billion other accounts, and it's free. So, and it's more viral than a phone. So, it baffles me that more small businesses aren't taking advantage of that, because who knows if it's always going to be free. Now, doing that and doing that well are obviously two different things. And, we'll talk again about that in just a minute. And then finally, digital marketing, which to some people is sort of a scary term. They think of it as something that's highly technical, or, you know, um, it's outside of the realm, or it's a luxury for small businesses. But really, it's not that fancy. It's just marketing a business. It's advertising through digital channels. So rather than marketing through, print or other traditional forms of advertising, you are now marketing through other platforms like Facebook or Yelp or Google, or other online platforms that have, again, access to lots of networks of people. So what it comes down to is, do you have all of those four things working for you? Do you have a website that works? Is it maintained? Is that strategy for maintaining that website a good one? Does it work for you? Are you present and active on social media? And do you have a digital marketing strategy? So those are four simple things, and there's a lot of ways that you can make that happen. But one of the things I want to say before I go through some of these different services that might make that simpler for you is that we understand that as a small business owner, these are not the things that you necessarily specialize in. So if you own, an Italian restaurant, you specialize in Italian cuisine, right? You don't specialize in social media or digital marketing or website maintenance or responsive design. And that's not a bad thing. That's okay. That's why companies like us exist, so we can help make that part of your business easier and more effective. So, and that's exactly why we want to present you with some options. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little quick peek into the different options that we offer as a company to help you achieve those 4 things. So the first thing that we offer is an all-inclusive marketing strategy, a marketing solution. And what this is at the core of everything that we do is we provide a website builder that is more than just a website builder. It's a content management system. It comes with marketing tools, social media tools, search engine optimization tools, search engine submission tools, email marketing campaigns, unlimited emails, unlimited domain names, an e-commerce solution that is unparalleled and second to none, the ability to link your blog, the ability to take appointments and reservations, different form widgets, photo galleries, unlimited storage space, unlimited support, unlimited upgrades to the software that ever comes out, which, by the way, we're going to demonstrate to you in just a few moments, right? So what this is this isn't GoDaddy, this isn't Wix, this isn't WordPress. This is much better than that because it's not just a website builder. It's a website builder backed by everything that you need from a toolbox standpoint to market that website, which I think we can all agree is the point of having a website, right? We want to have a website that is found, that that our users can actually use. And so the marketing part of that is just as important as having a great website. So one of the things that you should ask yourself as a small business owner is, is your current website and digital strategy working, right? Do you need more support with that? Do you want simplicity and do you want synergy? And what I mean by that is, would it be simpler if all of the tools that you needed to market your website and the people that support you in using those tools we're all part of the same team? Now, if you've ever run an advertisement in a Yellow Pages or tried to put up a billboard or run a commercial or run a newspaper ad, you know what a headache it is to try and get your graphic person to provide stuff to the newspaper person and that newspaper person to provide stuff to the commercial people. And the sound clip came from some home show advertisement that you ran, and you're trying to get all of these people to sort of work together, but they're not on the same team. And so what happens is your end result, your end product is not necessarily as great as it could be, and you've spent a great deal of time trying to help facilitate conversations between these different advertising agencies. So I think that one of the biggest benefits, I think our product is better than other products that are on the market. But even more than that, I think that one of the most unspoken benefits not as obvious benefits of our product is the fact that we offer simplicity and synergy, right? So we have several teams of professionals that each specialize in different areas, but they all work for us and they all work for you and they're all in the same building and they can talk to each other, and it's not trying to get the right hand to know what the left hand is doing and vice versa. And so that synergy to me is very valuable. And the simplicity to me is even more valuable because if I know anything about small business owners, it's that they traded their 9 to 5 for a 24/7, and they don't have the time to invest in facilitating those conversations, learning how to do these things, or all of the other stuff that becomes quite time consuming. So our website product as a whole, to me is the best decision that a small business owner can make, because you're going to get a great website, but you're also going to get tools and you're also going to get people power, home country people power that support it. Now, once that website is set up, the website management is your next thing to think about. So the website is built, and like I said earlier tonight, you definitely want to consider, how is your website built? Is it responsive? And if it's not, is that something that you can have done this year right away? I think that will definitely be a great move for your business. But once that website is built, how do you maintain the site? How do you maintain the content? What if you want to add new pages? What if you want to add new sections or change the style or change the colors or add videos or use the marketing tools that come with the website, or add 10 new email addresses, or block somebody's email address that let go, right? So how do you deal with all of those decisions? Our clients actually have two options for that right now. The first option is to subscribe for a monthly membership. Um, and all of our clients with a monthly membership pay $60 per month, but that includes hosting, it includes unlimited email accounts, unlimited use of technical support, and that's both with making changes to your website's content and also with all of the marketing tools that come with the website. So if you need help using a tool or adding the appointment and reservation tool or working with your e-commerce, all of that support is included. And it also comes with an email marketing system, a customer relationship management system, which is basically like an online database, and unlimited storage. So it used to be limited to 10 gigabytes, and we recently just opened it up to unlimited storage. So you can store your files, and as you're building out your website, you can have everything that you need on your website stored in the back end of your account, and no need to have a separate account for that kind of stuff anymore. And then again, unlimited upgrades to the platform. So Brett's going to demonstrate some of those upgrades in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and you'll get a nice, honest feel for what does an upgrade to our solution look like. Um, so to put that into perspective, most people have to secure hosting, and they pay around $10 to $20 a month for that. It's generally fairly inexpensive, but that's just hosting, and then you add about $2 per email account per month, and then you would add an email marketing system, which is about $35 a month, and you get the point. Every little thing is nickel and dimed with other solutions. With our solution, you get all of that, and it's hassle free. You don't have to think about it. We give you everything that you need, and it's only $60 a month. Now, with that being said, you can make as many changes to your website, add as many pages as you'd like, and you can do that using tech support or on your own. And there's no additional charge for that. However, there are several business owners that would prefer to save time over money. And so what I mean by that is they love our product, they love everything that it comes with, but they don't want to make the changes to their restaurant menu online themselves. They'd prefer to just email the new menu to somebody else and have them update the content for them. And for clients like that, we have a second option, which is the managed monthly membership product. And what that is everything that comes with a monthly membership. Plus, you get up to 10 hours a month of editing and content management done on your behalf. So again, by the way, that's $149 per month. And I want to put that into perspective. If you hired somebody, um, even at $20 an hour for 10 hours a month, that's $200 a month just for that person's time. And $20 an hour isn't going to get you much, because most web developers charge really anywhere from $50 to $200 per hour. So up to 10 hours of content management being done on your behalf for $149 per month. And by the way, that still includes the hosting, emails, CRM, email campaigns, e-commerce, etc. It's just a steal. Like, it's an incredible asset and resource to have at your fingertips. And so I guess what it comes down to for you as you think about your website's management, is what's more important to you. Would you rather save a little bit of money or a lot of time? And there's no right or wrong answer. It really comes down to what is the best solution for your business. If you don't have the knowledge or the resources to manage your own content, or the time to manage your own content, then the managed monthly membership is a no-brainer for you, right? If you're the kind of person that wants to do all of their own editing, and you're just that way, then maybe the managed monthly membership is not quite what you're looking for. It doesn't matter. It's a choice based on your personal preference and time and resources and knowledge availability. So if you have questions about the website or the management options that you have, you can schedule an appointment with a product specialist, and they can go through those and help you make the right decision for you. Now your next thing is design options, right? So how are you going to get your website designed or redesigned this year? So if you already have a website designed with us and it's great and all you want to do is take that design and make it responsive, well, then this can be a fairly quick project for you, right? But like everything that our product offers, we like to give you a do-it-yourself option and we like to give you a paid option so that, again, you can make those decisions based on whether you want to save time or money, or whether you have the skills to do something yourself or you don't, or whether you have the desire to learn the skills to do something yourself or you don't. And so you have a variety of options and several different design packages that are available to you. Now, one of the nice things is when you do purchase a design package, you are assigned a project manager who will help communicate and sort of serve as a liaison between you and the designers so that the communication is good and we understand what you're looking for and help move that process along, help you know what your next steps are at any given point, answer your questions, etc. And then once that website is launched, it's launched inside of the editable platform. So you have control over making changes inside of that custom design going forward. Um, Another thing to keep in mind is that our design packages also come with a free email campaign template as well that is custom designed based on your website design, which is really great for your branding. So you, with your email campaign system, there are preloaded into that email campaign system several different layouts that are all strategically built around different times of the year or different purposes behind sending a campaign. And then, of course, they have the custom option as well, where you can custom design anything that you want. So when you get a design package, not only are you getting a professional branded website for your business that is going to be really just conducive with your brand and editable, you're also going to get that same branding for your email campaign setup as well. So again, you have to just decide this year, number one, is your website responsive? And if not, what are you going to do to change that? It's important. And number two, is that something that you want to set up yourself, or is that something you would prefer our design center to do for you? And so you have both options. They're both there. It just comes down to what's more important to you, time or money, and do you have the resources or skills that to get what you want. Now, the next thing is search engine optimization. This is organic SEO stuff or value, right? So search engine optimization is what makes your business show up on search engines like Google or Yahoo when people search for things. So when I search for pizza in Springfield, Massachusetts, it's going to return to me websites that have paid advertisements, search engine marketing (SEM), and then below that, it's going to have some organic results. And there's a number of things that go into what determines who shows up first or on that first page of organic results. It's everything, most importantly, from your content to any social media sites that you're connected with. So if you've got a business Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube channel or blog or any outside uh, social networking sites that you're a part of, that will help your SEO value. Keywords, page titles, headings, descriptions, and all kinds of things are things that when done correctly and working together, they help boost your website's search engine optimization value so that it will show up, if not on the first page, closer to it. Now, this is what I like to call the long-term effect. It does take time for SEO to take effect, it's a good thing because it's, again, the search engines are reading content and looking for the best results to return to people. And that's their job. That's the industry that a search engine is in, right? They want to give us the best result for what we're looking for. And that's why the content and everything working together is so important for that. So your website with our product comes with the tools to update titles and headings and descriptions and do other SEO related tasks. You can do that yourself, and you can do that with the support of tech support. But we do have 2 search engine packages where our team of SEO experts will actually analyze your website for you and then go ahead and create a plan to increase your SEO value of your website. So the first question to ask yourself is your website showing up in search at all? Are you ranking against your competition? So, when you search for your industry in your area or places where you do business, do you show up, and does your competition show up? And is there some work to be done there? And if the answer is yeah, there's some work to be done there, then the next question is, so who's going to do it? You using our tools, or would you prefer to have a package? It's the same thing, time or money, resources or not. Now, Google AdWords is also SEM, search engine marketing, right? And so what that is it's paid ad placement on the search engine. So you can sort of think of this like a giant billboard on Google, right? So when you search for products and services, the first thing that will pop up are ads, people that paid to make sure that they show up on page one. Now, and just so you know, there are some people that will skip right to the organic listings, which is why you kind of want to have both. You want to have a good local or regional SEO strategy, as well as some good Google AdWords going. Google AdWords and Facebook advertising are probably the two most popular ways to advertise your business right now, because you can get very targeted results and very quick results, right? So what this is something where our SEO or an SEM specialist will guide you through the process of making sure your account is set up properly, that your campaign is set up for success, right? So when we look at what budget you have and who you're trying to reach and what industry you're in, and what kind of targeting you want to do, then we can come up with a campaign that makes sense for that. So this is obviously something that you could do directly with Google, but if you don't know how to set up a campaign so that it's going to get the highest return on the investment, then you risk just kind of throwing money at AdWords and hoping that it comes somewhere, but it doesn't. And there's so many little things about this that are not the same from industry to industry, that it's kind of it can be difficult to figure out what to do. So if you own a basket weaving company and your best friend is a personal injury attorney, and you're trying to give you advice on how to do your Google AdWords campaign because they did one for their industry, well, those are two really different things. And the personal injury attorney category is highly competitive compared to something like basket weaving, and so the approach is very different. And so again, that's kind of what makes it more challenging to decide how to put these campaigns together, is because when you do read through forums and try to learn about the best way to do it, somebody's advice is not necessarily relevant for your industry. So first of all, who's doing your AdWords if you are already doing them? Because what we'd love to do is have the opportunity to sit down with you and talk about how our AdWord program might be able to get you more results for your money. And if you need results quickly, this is a really great solution, because you can run a campaign for 3 months, maybe it's seasonal, and turn it off if you want. And you can get it set up and running fairly quickly and get your traffic being boosted right away. And then the third question is, if you have a great site already and you just need help marketing it, this could be a great way to do that. Very similar to Google AdWords is Facebook advertising, but I think it's actually better. I think Brett would agree with me on that as well. So just like Google, you're able to target, really target and honing on the audience that sees your message. And there's even more things that you can do with a Facebook campaign than what you can do with a Google campaign. So, that's another great way to get some increased exposure very quickly. Everybody expects businesses to not just have social media, but be active on them. Actually, it's over 80% of people. So, if you don't have the time to manage your social media presence, what we offer is the ability for our social media experts to consult with you to discuss the types of content that you want posted on your behalf, in terms of text and images and media. and they will do that posting and respond to comments or questions as they arise on your behalf. So that's just one less thing that you have to think about. So that's one option that you'll have for managing social media if you don't have the time or the resources to do that. And then below that, you're going to see another package, which I think is highly underestimated. It's online reputation management. And that's something that I think a lot of small business owners think of as a luxury, that's something that only big businesses take advantage of, or celebrities, or people that have to worry about their online reputation. But the reality is that consumers go to review sites to see reviews because they care more about what other people are saying about your business than what you're saying about your business. So when you decide on a restaurant, you're checking out reviews on Yelp or OpenTable or Google reviews, right? That is just something that we do. It's a big part of our process as consumers to making buying decisions. And so the interesting thing is that most businesses, small businesses, have never checked their online listings in other places. Actually, according to Constant Contact, there were 51% of people that never checked them at all. And just under 50% of people that when they did finally get around to checking, they realized that there was incorrect phone numbers and contact information on different review sites. And a big reason for that is because if you didn't set up your account with a review site, that means probably your customer did. And they reviewed you somewhere and they might not have gotten your phone number correctly, but now that's just, that is reflecting on your reputation, right? And so it's important to scan the internet for negative reviews so that you can, bury it with positive reviews, and so you can be aware of these things and respond appropriately and maintain a positive image. So ask yourself if you're using social media and if you're using it enough, and if you're consistent, and if you're monitoring your online reputation, because if you need support with any of those things that we mentioned, we've got 2 packages that can help you do that. So altogether, we offer synergistic, affordable, and effective solutions. Synergy, where several teams for the same company under the same roof working together to get you optimal results, and affordable, more affordable than anything else that's on the market, and of course effective, because when you have people that are working together, and you guys are driving forces behind everything we do, you're going to get a better result. So, with that being said, I want to turn this over to my co-pilot here, Brett Ratner, and he's going to talk a little bit about our enhancements that we've already released. So we've got more coming in February, but we've made enhancements to our e-commerce solution. We've added some new layouts for you to choose from if you're going to design your website on your own. Demo mode, and the most exciting one, I think, is the new effects. So hold on one second, and I'll make Brett the presenter. So we'll just give it a second here. We turn it over to Brett, and we should be good to go. Awesome. Now viewing Brett's screen, we're just waiting to hear. I think you have to use the audio pen there, Brett. Let me send it to you. All right, one second, folks. We're having a hard time hearing. All right, let's see. Hey, Brett. All right. Mm. Okay. So you're on, but we can't hear the audio. That's fine. Just give us 1 second, you guys, while we just work through this. It'll just take a moment. Um, okay. So Brett, there we go. Nope,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Okay, sorry about that. For some reason, it wasn't picking up audio from my phone, so I had to go on computer.
That's fine.
Okay, so now that we're past that little hurdle, thank you for all that amazing information, Sarah. That was incredibly informative, and I hope everyone took some really good notes on that.
Awesome. Thanks for being here tonight. I know we're really lucky to have you on tonight. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. It's only 6:42 here. You're the real rock star. It's 9:42 where you're at. Okay, so if everybody can see my screen now, I'm going to show you the pièce de résistance, my favorite piece that we've developed in a really long time. What I'm going to show you today are effects. Effects are basically just like the special effects that you see in movies like Star Wars and Star Trek and all those cool sci-fi kind of flicks. Um, we've added a way to add those sorts of special effects. And you won't see any lightsabers or any Star Destroyers flying off your screen, but you will see some really cool stuff. So I'm going to refresh the page and you'll be able to see some of the stuff in action. So as you can see, the very first thing is this area right here that says welcome to our site. It is set to fade in, and then as it's fading in, it's set to bounce at the end. And I'll show you some of the way that you set these things in the back end in just a few moments. So that's the first effect that you'll notice. Now as you scroll the page, the next effect that you're going to notice is see how the navigation right now where it says home, services, about us, etc. is right now kind of semi-transparent and it's up at the top of the screen, but it's kind of scrolling with the page. Now we have another effect enabled and it's called Pin It. So basically what it does is it takes the menu or any widget that you'd like and allows you to take that widget and pin it at the top of the screen. This is very helpful for things like the menu, obviously that I've employed right now. And also it's effective for things like, let's say if you had a calendar, if you were a travel site and you had a calendar that you wanted to always make available to your clients as you scroll the page, you can do so with the pin it. So it would keep that calendar and keep it pinned to the top of the screen even though you've scrolled past that section. Um, Now, the next option I'd like to scroll down and show you is this one right here. You saw all of these different service sections, services 1 through 4, came in and they kind of flew in from all different directions. This one that's below it is called Text Tango. As you can see, it was kind of doing some interesting dancing there. That's why we called it Text Tango. And it allows you to take any text that you like and you can have it kind of dance around like that. You can either do it by the line or by the word. Next option is something that we call parallax effect. So as you scroll the page, you'll notice that the whole foreground of the page is staying stationary, or is moving rather, and the background in this area, this blue with polka dots, is kind of staying stationary and moving a little bit as the page moves. Now there's going to be one other effect that's going to start in just a moment. As I scroll the page, you'll see a couple of things are going to fly in. Those flew in, stopped at a spot, and kind of bounced. That's what we call the slide in effect. Here's a similar one where we have them sliding in from alternate sides, and then we've actually employed two different effects to the same widget. So this widget right here had the effect where it would fly in or slide in from the side, and then we also put the hover to scale. So basically, as you hover over something, you can have that content scale or grow. You can also put a negative number in it, it could shrink as well. And you can do that in percentages, and I'll show you how to do that in the back end in just a moment. And that's all of the effects that we have enabled on this page. So what I'd like to do, nope, we had scale on this one down at the bottom as well, so you can see what it looks like on other elements as well. So that's the front end. Now let me take you to the back end and see how easy it is to enable these simple features. So everyone here should be familiar with the back end of the website, because you guys use it all the time, I'm sure. And we've added all of the effects features that I just mentioned, and one other feature that I'm really excited about as well. It's called demo mode. So typically when you'd have to make changes in the back end previously, all the changes that you made, you'd see here in real time, because what we have is called a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get type of editing. However, if you wanted to see it really working in the wild, you'd have to publish the website and then go and view the website. No longer do you have to do that. There's no publishing process that you have to go through. All you need to do is make one simple change, and then once you've made that change, you can click on demo mode, and then that's automatically going to switch you into demo mode, and you'll see all the effects that you've made changes to in effect there on the screen. And you can even show it in different views. So let's say you wanted to see what it would look like in mobile mode. You click on mobile, and then it'll show you exactly what it looks like in mobile mode. You can see everything's been optimized here for the mobile interface. It's that excuse me, responsive stuff that Sarah was talking about earlier, where no matter what you do, it's going to look awesome on any device you look at it at, whether it be a mobile phone, a phablet, a tablet, or a desktop. Let's go ahead and jump out of demo mode, and I'm going to show you how we've utilized some of these effects. So let's say for the main menu, I'll click on here on the pane on the left, and then on the right-hand pane, you'll have all of the typical global properties options that you used to have. And in addition to that, we have the new one called effects. So under effects, we'll list out all of the various different types of effects that are available to utilize with any one of these widgets. Sometimes you can't utilize all effects with all widgets. So if you click on anything here on the left and it's got a different list on the right, that means that whatever effects that are listed are the ones that are compatible with that widget. So for this one, what we've utilized was pin. So I'm going to show you pin. The option for pin, you can really only enable or disable it, but you have the granularity to select if you want it to be enabled on all views, which is what I have it set for, or I can choose to enable it or disable it on specific views. Now, one thing that I changed, if you notice on the background, because it was semi-transparent before and there was no logo, is I added a logo to that main menu, and it only shows up when it gets docked there at the top. So once you're in effects mode, I can come here and I can adjust the characteristics of that widget by utilizing the rest of global properties, and that will make the changes to that widget, but only while it's being pinned up at the top of the screen. So for background, right now it's set for background color, this gray color, and then it's utilizing this logo here in the top left-hand corner. Notice how it's in the top, and I select left for it to be positioned horizontally all the way to the left. Now, let's say, for instance, let's just go ahead and show you a few more. Now, the way that you'll know that an effect is actually enabled is by clicking onto any one of the widgets or divs here on the left-hand side, and to know for sure that one's been enabled, you'll see this tiny little magic wand like Harry Potter. And it just is illustrating that there is an effect that's been enabled on this widget. So if I were to scroll the page and click on highlight this area on my page, oops. Okay, it's this one right here. So this first one, we have that fade in. Now for the fade in, I have it set to enabled, the direction that it's fading is from the bottom to the top of the screen. Bring to front as if I wanted to have that appear in front of everything else that's on the page. Then I would check off that checkbox. The transition effect is, remember how there was a little bit of a bounce towards the end of the effect? And the transition means from the very beginning of the effect to the end of the effect, when it's doing that fade, it can kind of have like a secondary type of characteristic that you can apply to that effect. And for this one, we chose bounce at end, but you'll see there are several different ones you can choose from. You can have nothing. You can have it bounce at start and end. So just for demo purposes, since you've already seen it with bounce at end, I'm going to go ahead and enable it for bounce at start and end. And then we're going to go into demo mode, and you're going to see it. See how it bounced a little bit at the beginning and faded, and then it bounced there at the end. Now, if we were to do the same exact thing, and instead of it being bounce at start or bounce at end, we can just, let's say we did it elastic at end. Elastic is similar to bounce, but it's more of like a rubber band where it's doing that kind of reverb bounce at the very end. So let's check that one out real quick. See how it was a little bit faster, and we can slow that down too if we want. We can make it take place over 4 seconds. We'll go ahead and demo that, and you can see how it continues to bounce, and it goes for a good 4 seconds there. Okay, so now that we've done it to widgets that we've already had effects applied to, let's switch it up and let's do and apply an effect to a widget that hasn't already had an effect applied to it. So let's do it for something like here, the email address. So we'll go ahead and click on the properties for this. It's going to scroll down to it, and then we're going to, let's say, apply a, let's do slide out. We're going to enable it. We're going to have it go from left to right. We're going to keep it in the front so it applies and stays in the front of everything else. The transition effect, let's have it elastic at the start. And let's do it only when the bottom of the widget is visible. So that's the trigger. So as you're scrolling the page, we have to tell the browser exactly when this effect is going to actually happen. And right now we have it set the trigger on when the bottom of the widget is visible. And we'll have the duration go for 4 seconds. So remember, we did it on this one. So as we put into demo mode and we scroll the page, we want to see exactly what happens. So as we get down to the area where that is at, that should now, see how it's bouncing? Now it's sliding out off the page. So typically you don't want content to disappear from the page, but you know, I could think of some pretty cool use cases where that would be something where you want it to happen. Let's say you wanted to expose an element of the page that was sitting behind there, and it was obscured when the content was there in the first place, but as you scroll to the new content, you want to expose that content that's hiding behind the initial content. So that's where you would use something like slide out. Okay, so I see that we're nearing the end of our hour, so I'd like to, those are pretty, I mean, we could spend hours here going through all of the various different effects that we have to choose from. And there's actually a blog page devoted to this. And this website that I was showing you earlier is called sampleeffects.com. So if anybody wants to check that out on their own time, they're definitely more than welcome to do so. And we'll continue to update that site over time with additional effects, as well as anytime we add new effects in the future. So I'm not sure if any questions came up while we're here in the chat.
Let's take a look. So just the question of will this be uploaded later? And the answer is absolutely. This whole session is recorded, and I'll show you the address in a minute, but it's our official YouTube channel that it'll be uploaded to, which is maWebCenters official. So first, let me go ahead and switch it back so I could put that screen with resources up, Brett, and then unless, yeah, because you showed us some really great stuff. That was awesome. Let's see. Hold on one second. Okay, great. So first, I do want to say thank you to Brett for joining us tonight and walking us through that, because honestly, like we've all had a chance. We've actually pushed that sample website out. We have a blog on blog.maWebCenters.com as well, that talks about the new effects that Brett wrote a really great article introducing them to us, and then in there was a link to that sample site that he was showing us tonight. So we've all seen it and we've seen the effects happen, but it was really cool to see each effect sort of isolated so we knew which effect was what. But one of the most exciting upgrades was definitely that demo mode, so that even if you forgot which effect went with what, you could just preview it right there as you're editing the site, which is really awesome. So thank you so much for joining tonight. And it was like a last minute request too, which was really great. I really appreciated that. So yes, this video will be uploaded, and it will be uploaded to youtube.com/MA official. So the next question is from Claire. It says, if I have a demo scheduled for next week, will the effects portion be included in the presentation? So Brett, that's kind of a question for your team. Is that something that our team will be sort of highlighting on presentations for prospective clients that want to see, to learn more about the effects?
Yes, absolutely. So effects are live. So anything that's in the system that you would like our product specialist to touch on during the demonstration, by all means, put that into your notes. If and when you are booking any sort of appointments with our product specialist, and then they will be sure to illustrate any of the aspects of the system, especially the new effects.
Awesome. And then we have a question from Kathy that says, what security added value is provided? Is there documentation indicating the security aspects? Um,
Um, so for security-wise, we're co-located at a few different facilities. We're co-located at a facility in El Segundo, California. They just recently changed their name. They've been Cable and Wireless and Exodus and Savis, and they've been many different companies over time. I believe they were just recently bought out by BT, British Telecom, if I recall correctly. Um, so we're co-located there as well as rack space, and in terms of our overall security, we utilize the same sort of 128-bit SSL encryption that is standard in the industry. Same stuff that all of your banks and other providers that have to have secure content, same stuff that they utilize. So our stuff is just as secure as theirs.
awesome. Yeah. And I will say that unlike some of them, ours hasn't, we haven't had any issues of hacking or anything. So that's really
Right.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not as big of a target, so we've never really had that problem.
Any issues, which is great. Awesome. Well, with that being said, you guys, thank you so much. If you guys think of any other questions, you can feel free to send me an email at sarahrose@marketamerica.com. It's SARAHROSE at marketamerica.com. Or talk to the person that invited you tonight to make sure that your questions are answered. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a list of social media platforms that we are active on and post helpful blogs on, videos, and other content that could be useful for you with your business and running your business. So we hope to see you online, and we'll talk to you guys again the third week in February. Okay, have a great week and a great rest of the month. Take care.